everyone. Welcome to the Raven Rabbit Wellness Studio podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Jackie Cope, and I'm here to talk to you about all things life, healing, and happiness with the spiritual indigenous approach. Enjoy the episode. Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Raven Rabbit Wellness Studio podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Jackie Cope, and I'm so excited to be doing my 5th episode today. Today, we're going to focus on your relationship with the moon. The moon has played a pivotal role in where I'm at today, so I wanted to share a little bit of my moon story with you. So before we get started, I'd like to start with our invocation today. Dear Creator, please make me a pure, incorruptible channel of loving, healing, divine presence, and provide me with all the protection, guidance, and wisdom I need. And so it is. So as I said today, we're in Season 1, Finding Yourself, Episode 5, Relationship with the Moon. Today's episode is really special because finding my relationship with the moon has really helped me take control of my life. This must have just been divine intervention, noticing the pattern, because it's how it happened. I would have episodes of being really depressed and episodes of being really high. So I was going on that life up and down path. I wasn't having that even keel, consistent life. And as I started to pay attention, the times that were more extreme tended to be around the full moon time. So there was a few incidents that did occur in my life that were, to me, embarrassing and wrong. And it happened to be a full moon. Now, that's not an excuse, but it is a pattern. And so when I saw that pattern starting to coming to light, I was like, I have to do something about this. I need to learn more about this. So on my quest to learn more about the moon, I just got on the internet, started researching. I found Yasmin Boland. I talk a lot about Hay House, and I ordered her book, and I just started reading, and every part of it just made so much sense to me, and I really enjoyed it. She also has a deck, oracle deck. That is the first oracle deck that I purchased. So like I told you, the Lenormand cards came into my life. I'm saying that wrong, sorry. And got me interested in cards. I ordered some traditional tarot just to learn. But my first card purchase that was really meaningful to me was this Moonology oracle deck. And I started practicing oracle cards consistently. I started tracking my life with the moon. And I started to notice that my life pattern really followed the regular lunar pattern. So I'm going to give a little information about what I know about the lunar cycle. Please do more research. I am just one voice here. I hope it just sparks your curiosity to make you want to learn more. And this is why I do my moon classes at my wellness studio. So in times of new moon, when the moon is dark, it is a time to be creative, look within, start finding who you are, and be really reflective, and put your manifesting dreams out into the universe. And then as we work up to your first quarter moon and your half moon, you're really working hard to make those things happen. You're focused, you're intentional, and you're on track. As the moon gets fuller and we're getting closer to full moon, you need to start winding down. It's a time to retreat and relax and reset. when I learned that, the way I was living my life really changed. So I live my life more in a lunar cycle, which means for 2 weeks, I work really hard and ambitiously on my goals with clear intentions and clear plans. And then the next 2 weeks, I start to take it down a bit. I see what happened with those goals, if they were fulfilling to me, if I want to pursue it more, and I do some reflection. And then when the full moon comes, I try to retreat and relax. So that could look like anything. It could look like more yoga, painting, being creative, sitting on the couch, sleeping more, sitting on your deck watching sunsets. So when the full moon comes, I start to retreat a little bit. Because when I was not lunar planning my life, I would just keep going. I'm a very ambitious person. I like to work really hard. And then when I started working on my goals really hard at a full moon, it just seems like everything would blow up because I would be pushing it too hard. I was working against the lunar cycle. So I've noticed that the ebb and flow of life has become much easier in my lunar cycle planning. So as I record this episode, we're getting to a full moon. We're not quite there yet. We're about third quarter moon, and it is the time where I start planning to relax. So next weekend will be really close to the full moon, and I have nothing super important on my calendar. What I have planned is a yoga class at 10 a.m., which is very calming for me, and I enjoy doing that, and it's not a strenuous thing I have to do. Then beyond that, it's being at home, enjoying my family, relaxing, cooking, because for me that is a de-stressing activity. For some it is not. And that's how I've been planning my monthly life cycles. And I use it with my business as well. So each month I release a calendar for the upcoming events at the studio. And you can take this model and apply it to however you run your business as well. I first chart when the full moon and new moons are going to be for the month. So looking ahead to August right now, I have a full moon release at the very beginning of August. So I know that time of month is going to be heightened in emotion. And so I try to plan everything around that. So the weekend before, I said, I only have yoga. The weekend after, I have the plein air art painting I told you about in my last episode. So those are two enjoyable, calming things to do around the full moon. Then my month gets a little bit busier as the full moon begins to wane. I do typical things for my business during the waning time. I have my regular set schedule. And then as we near the new moon, I add in some art making classes because we can start getting really creative at this time. Then I'll have a new moon manifesting class on the new moon, set new intentions, and start working really hard for the next 2 weeks. And then I like to plan my big art class that I do, my Create, Meditate, Manifest class, during that window of time because we're full of new energy and we're going with the lunar cycle. And then again, we work our way back up to the full moon. So in August was a little different because we had 2 full moons in August, so it was kind of nice to work around. And you can follow that type of thing in your personal life and in your business life, planning around the cycles of the moon. So there are many ways to lunar cycle plan. I've used a few methods. I enjoy most of them. They're really great. The best ones come from your heart that you start to make up on your own, and when you start to make up your own way of doing things. So what I started with was Moonology, I told you, with my oracle cards. Then I found something on Etsy I really enjoyed. It was a moon journal, and I was working with that. I bought a planner on Amazon. I could share that link. And I used that because it went day by day, and so I was really intentionally planning my day-to-day activities around the cycle of the moon. So you can use a planner. And then one of my favorite ones that I have found is Asha Frost, You Are the Medicine, and it goes through traditional indigenous Anishinaabe moon cycles and what the meaning of each full moon is. So I have let that book really inspire my full moon classes, and the art that we do tied to those classes come from that book. So I'll meditate on the lesson from the chapter of the full moon, and then I'll let a painting come to me, and that'll be our guided painting for that class. So if you look back in indigenous culture, you will always find stories of the moon, and sometimes referred to as Mother Moon. There are a lot of great stories out there, and I highly encourage you to start researching the moon stories of the tribes that are near you. So this episode comes with a little bit of homework here. So if you go to native-land.ca, it is a native land finder, so you can find out whose land you are traditionally on. You could type in your address and it'll tell you the traditional homelands, and then from there you can take that information and start researching the tribes that are within that section, and maybe you will come across some moon stories. So my relationship with the moon has greatly evolved. I know many of us have probably always loved the moon since we were little. I know I was fascinated with the moon as a child, and it's something I've always enjoyed. I've always pointed out when I'm out at night, look at the moon, it's so amazing. And now that I've done all of this research and reading and honoring the moon, I feel such a deeper connection to the moon, and that lunar cycle planning has gifted me to be a calmer, more peaceful person, and I can move through life at the pace that's right for me. So everybody's moon journey is going to look different. I'd love to hear about other people's moon journeys. You could share those in the comments. So that leads me to ask, what is your relationship with the moon? As an Indigenous person, I highly encourage you to make that deeper connection with nature and the universe, because as you do make those deeper connections, your self-actualization just grows so much deeper. Spending that time with any natural object really can bring enlightenment. So if lunar planning sounds like something that will really interest you, reach out to me. I'd love to do a spiritual session about moon lunar cycle planning with you. If you live anywhere near the Inland Empire area, you can always come out to a class. I would love to have you. Just let me know if you're interested. If this podcast helped you out in any way, you got a good story out of it, you enjoyed it, it maybe enlightened your day, please share this podcast on any social media you have. Let your friends know about it, your families know about it. That is the best way to thank a podcaster and small business owner. Share away.